I slammed the front door so hard the frame rattled, my fingers still trembling as I pressed them against my split lip. The metallic taste of blood coated my tongue, sharp and real, pulling me out of whatever denial I'd been clinging to. This wasn't some nightmare I could wake from. Victor, my stepfather, had actually hit me, and my own mother, Laura, had stood there with her arms folded, her voice flat as she delivered the words that would echo in my head for months. You chose this. Elena. The humid night air in Elmwood, Illinois, wrapped around me like a damp blanket as I stumbled down the porch steps. My ribs ached with every breath, and my left cheek throbbed where his knuckles had connected. I didn't have a plan yet, only the desperate need to get away from that house on Maple Lane, the place that had once felt like home, but now felt like a cage. I made it 2 blocks before my phone slipped from my shaking hands. Only one person I trusted enough to call at this hour. My brother. Liam. Elena? His voice was thick with sleep when he answered. It's after midnight. Everything okay? Can you pick me up? My words cracked. Please. I'm at the corner of Maple and Elm, near the gas station. The silence on his end lasted only a second. I'm on my way. Stay on the line. 15 minutes later, his old Toyota pulled up. The moment he saw my face under the streetlight, his expression shifted from concern to fury. Jesus. Elena. What the hell happened? I slid into the passenger seat, wincing as the seatbelt pressed against my bruised ribs. Victor. He wanted me to co-sign on the house refinance and a new truck loan. I said no. He lost it. Liam's knuckles whitened on the steering wheel as he drove toward his apartment on the west side of town. Mom, she watched, told me I chose it by refusing. We didn't speak again until we were inside his place. Doors locked. The deadbolt slid home. Liam flipped on the bathroom light and gently tilted my chin. The mirror showed a stranger, swollen lip, darkening bruise blooming across my cheekbone, red marks on my arm where Victor had grabbed me. We're going to the ER, he said quietly. And then the police station. No arguments. The hospital was a blur of fluorescent lights and gentle hands. Nurses documented every injury with photos: my split lip, the tender ribs, the fingerprints bruising my upper arm. The doctor confirmed bruised ribs, no fractures, but prescribed pain meds and rest. A police officer took my statement, his face hardening as I described the escalating demands. The folder with pre-filled loan papers. Victor's rage when I refused. Has this happened before? He asked. Verbal stuff. Intimidation. But never physical until tonight. By the time we returned to Liam's apartment near dawn, exhaustion pulled at me like gravity. But sleep wouldn't come. My mind kept replaying the moment Victor's fist connected, the way Laura turned away. Liam brought me water and ibuprofen. You're staying here as long as you need. We'll figure this out. I nodded. But inside, something shifted. I had always been the responsible one. The daughter who fixed problems, who helped Laura with bills when money was tight, who kept the peace after Victor moved in 5 years ago. That Elena was gone. In her place was someone ready to fight back. The next morning, while Liam made coffee, I opened my laptop and logged into my credit monitoring service. I expected minor ding from late payments or something small. Instead, the screen filled with alerts that made my stomach drop. A recent inquiry from Midwest Credit Union for a $42,000 truck loan in my name. An account I'd never opened. A signature that looked nothing like mine. Liam, I called, my voice barely above a whisper. You need to see this. He leaned over my shoulder. That bastard already did it without you. The forged signature was sloppy compared to my neat, looped handwriting on old documents I pulled from cloud storage. The difference was glaring. This wasn't just pressure to co-sign, it was a cover-up. We spent the rest of the morning calling the bank, filing disputes, and preparing for my appointment with their fraud department. Each new detail chipped away at the life I thought I knew. Victor hadn't just assaulted me. He had been stealing my identity, and Laura had helped him. The Midwest Credit Union lobby felt too bright, too normal for what I was about to do. I clutched my folder of evidence, police report, old signature samples, medical photos, and waited for the fraud investigator. My bruises were still vivid under makeup, but my resolve was sharper than ever. David Park, the senior investigator, greeted me with professional calm that cracked when he saw my face. MS. Brooks, let's go over everything. I laid it out, the assault triggered by my refusal to co-sign, the forged truck loan application submitted from the IP address tied to my mother's house, the new checking account opened in my name using funds from Laura's account. Park's expression darkened as he reviewed the documents. The loan proceeds were withdrawn in cash the same day, he said. Initial deposit came from your mother's account. This looks coordinated. Hearing it confirmed aloud made my chest tighten. Laura hadn't just stood by, she had actively participated. The woman who once read me bedtime stories had helped forge my financial future away. Park froze the accounts and initiated the formal claim. We'll reverse the transactions and remove this from your credit report. But this crosses into criminal territory. We'll cooperate fully with law enforcement. I left the bank feeling both lighter and heavier. The first step toward justice was taken. But the betrayal cut deeper than any bruise. Next stop, the courthouse for an emergency protective order. The judge, a no-nonsense woman in her 50s. Read my petition carefully. He assaulted you over financial coercion? Yes, Your Honor. And I've discovered ongoing identity theft. The order was granted immediately. Victor prohibited from contacting me or coming within 500 feet. It felt like armor. Back at Liam's, more revelations waited. I contacted the credit bureaus to freeze my files and dispute everything. Each call uncovered more damage. Store cards I never applied for. Utility accounts in towns I'd never visited. And worst of all, medical debt from an ER visit 4 months earlier where someone posing as me received stitches and provided Laura's insurance information. The pattern was clear. Victor, who once worked at a shady buy here pay here dealership, knew exactly how to manipulate the system. Laura provided the personal details and cover. Liam watched me build my color-coded action list late into the night. You're handling this like it's just another IT ticket at Nexus Tech. Problems are problems, I said. I fix them. This one just happens to involve the people who were supposed to love me. But beneath the calm, emotion churned, grief for the mother I thought I had, rage at the violation of my name and body, and a growing determination that surprised even me. The next day, we returned to the house on Maple Lane while Victor was at his construction job and Laura at her retail shift. The keys still fit, but the familiar scent of coffee and laundry detergent now felt tainted. Laura appeared in the hallway as I packed my documents. Elena, baby, please talk to me. Her eyes were red-rimmed. Victor was just stressed about money. We were going to pay it back. Pay back what you stole using my name? I spun on her. The truck? The medical bills? My paychecks. Her silence confirmed the paycheck theft I'd only suspected. 2 years of direct deposits diverted to an account I never touched while I lived at home thinking I was unemployed. You chose him over your own daughter, I said, voice steady despite the tears burning my eyes. When he hit me, you blamed me. I grabbed my birth certificate, social security card, and tax records, then left without looking back. Laura's pleas followed me to the car. But I didn't turn around. Detective Ramirez at the Elmwood PD took the new evidence seriously. The forged signatures, bank records, medical fraud details, and my mother's complicity painted a picture of systematic abuse. She coordinated with the credit union and medical billing office, uncovering even more. A former coworker of Victor's, an older man named Carl Ramirez, no relation, reached out after seeing the initial arrest report. He met us at a quiet diner, sliding over a thick envelope of photocopied loan applications from Victor's time at the dealership 8 years earlier. Same scam, Carl said. Forged signatures, pocketed down payments, cars disappearing. One victim was my niece. The stress destroyed her. The names on those old applications matched documents found in Victor's locked garage cabinet during the search warrant. At least 8 previous partners victimized over the years. Laura had been involved in several, each discovery layered on the betrayal. My mother wasn't a passive participant. She had helped target vulnerable women, including her own child. Corporate at Nexus Tech discovered the payroll fraud during a routine audit. For 2 years, my salary had been diverted while I believed I was struggling to find work after a layoff that never happened. The HR director was stunned. This is federal territory now. We're involving the FBI. The scope expanded. Wire fraud, mail fraud, conspiracy, identity theft across state lines. My case became the linchpin connecting Victor's history. I spent days at the station reviewing documents, providing context, helping investigators trace the money trail. Liam brought me meals and reminded me to sleep. The protective order kept Victor away for now. But tension hummed constantly. One evening, my phone rang with an unknown number. Victor's slurred voice came through. You think that restraining order means anything? Drop the charges or things get worse. I recorded the call calmly. You just violated the order. This is evidence now. He laughed darkly. You have no idea what I'm capable of. I reported it immediately. Victor was arrested again for the violation. The temporary relief shattered when Detective Ramirez called. Victor had made bail and vanished. Laura wasn't answering her phone. Their truck was gone. A BOLA was issued, but desperation made them dangerous. Liam and I checked into a motel on the outskirts under his name, paying cash. We barricaded the door, jumping at every noise. Then Laura called Liam's phone. Meet me alone. I'll tell you where Victor is hiding. I want out. It's a trap, I warned. But Liam went anyway, believing our mother might still have a shred of decency left. Hours passed. Then Victor's voice came through the backup phone he left me. Recant everything. Wire $50,000. Or your brother won't look so pretty anymore. Panic surged, but I remembered the Find My Phone app. Liam's device pinged at an abandoned warehouse in the old industrial park south of town. I started a video recording explaining everything, then drove there despite Detective Ramirez's warnings. Sirens wailed in the distance as I approached on foot. The warehouse smelled of rust and decay. Liam's voice called from above. Elena. Run. Victor stood on the metal catwalk, knife glinting, Liam tied to a chair. Laura emerged from shadows, looking haunted. Elena. Just do what he says, she begged. But as Victor threatened Liam, something broke in Laura. She threw Victor's keys into the darkness below, forcing him to turn. They struggled. The chair teetered on the edge. I raced up the stairs and grabbed it, pulling with everything I had. Victor lunged, overbalanced, and fell 30 feet to the concrete. The sound was sickening. Police swarmed in. Rick, Victor, was dead. Laura was arrested but taken to the hospital for her injuries. Liam and I were questioned for hours. In the aftermath, Laura cooperated, testifying against Victor's broader scheme. She received a plea deal, 3 years with parole eligibility after 18 months. When she mouthed, "I'm sorry," in court as she was led away, I nodded but felt only hollow acknowledgement. Forgiveness might come someday, or it might not. The civil suit against Victor's estate recovered substantial stolen funds, distributed to victims. I received compensation for wages, damages, and credit harm. I finished my computer science degree, was promoted at Nexus Tech with back pay, and moved into a secure house with Liam. Detective Ramirez later shared that my case helped identify dozens more victims across states, recovering millions. A text from a new woman named Grace arrived months later, seeking advice on her own identity theft situation. I replied, "Of course. Let's meet. You're stronger than you know." Sitting on my porch watching the sunset, I reflected on the bruises that had long faded, the nightmares that came less often. The strength I discovered that night stayed with me, the power to say no, to fight back, to refuse victimhood. Sometimes it takes the ultimate betrayal to uncover your own resilience. When we finally stand up, we don't just survive, we become unstoppable. The question lingers: how many others stay silent? And what might they discover if they finally fight?